Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Color X Malice Unlimited. And remember Hana? Hana's crazy! I don't remember her voice. It was just obnoxious like that. But anyway. So we finished Shiraishi's endings in the last part. We did the normal ending and the bad ending. And then the part before that, we did all of the good stuff. So yeah, we've finished Shiraishi. So we have now what I showed you guys too. Kurose has a short story. Again, I don't know if it's like long. So we're going to find out. We're going to start it in this and we'll see if it goes the hour. Then it's an hour. If it's got a part 1 and 2, like, you know, Crossroads and all those other ones. Like Yoshinari, Minagishi, and Kazuki's ones. They were actually like part 1, part 2. So they were long, but everything tells you about them. Everything I've seen. I've never seen this one. I didn't even know this existed until we came in here, you know, because I'm an idiot and thought, oh my god, all the side characters have a short story. No, it's just the picture change. I'm not smart, okay? Took me way too long to figure that out. There's probably someone at this point in my recording with a video, nobody has said anything, but there will be something 3 years from now. Someone will be like, oh my god, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I figured it out. Don't worry. Simmer down. Yeah, because I told you. No, you told me 3 years after I recorded this. Trust me. Like, because at the point of me recording this, nobody's brought up like, no, there's not a short story for each one of those people. Like, I'm a freaking idiot. Anyway. And we couldn't figure out what those other 3 were. Now we know. But again, nowhere I've seen it. Like, in the guides, everything, it's like, okay, you know, this one, Yoshinari's unlocks after this one, Kazuki. And I saw there's those 3 side stories, and then there's the Adonis stuff, but I swear, unless I'm dumb, and when they said Adonis stories, I was thinking, like, the main Adonis one and not these, like... But anyway, this unlocked after Shiraishi, so we're gonna play this, and we're gonna see, where we get today. And if it's super short, we'll start the Adonis route. If it's long, then it'll be its own part. But anyway, I gotta read this like Kurose. I'm just gonna read it normal because I don't remember his voice was like changed every time. Anyway, this place was called the Sandbox. It was a place secluded from the outside world. A place of secret human experimentation in the name of training. It was where orphans who didn't legally exist went. Also, the way it's written is like the short stories like that Yanagi, Shiraishi, and everybody had. So if it's like an hour of this, I'm gonna be so fucking confused as to who's talking when. I hate it when they do this, because I don't know who's talking when, and like, I guess... Well, the weird thing is I bet I don't know, if you have the voices on, someone let me know. If you have the voice acting on, right? And there's a voice line, like there's a speaking line, would that person actually talk? Or they just assume you're just reading it and who gives a fuck if you know who's talking when? Am I like the only person that drives crazy? Anyway, so I don't think, unless it changes, but this doesn't feel like it's something that could be like an hour of this, but who knows? And the upper executives feared this information leaking out and began calling it by that nickname. Orphans who don't legally exist. But to us dolls, this place wasn't some inhumane place. It's not the Sandbox, it's the dollhouse. I always try to be my best. The fucking show is great. I was given the name number 13. I was given a mission. To me, the Sandbox was my home. Number 19 will be disposed of. The sparring is now postponed. Await further orders. The instructor emotionlessly barks the training time at us. Ahem. Number 19 will be disposed of. Sparring is now postponed. Await further orders. I can't do that emotionlessly. I tried. None of us dolls appeared to care as we returned to our post to await our next order. If I wanted to put tons of emotion in my voice, it would come out sounding robotic, but when I'm trying to be robotic, it doesn't sound as bad as I want it to. Anyway. Yeah, he was always bad. Failures had no place here. They were sent to the retraining room, but still didn't improve. They must have been defective. Chess pieces that were useless would be disposed of. That was the natural order of things and our ironclad law. When a number was mentioned to be disposed of, We were always reminded of this. They told us to work harder so it didn't happen to us, in an attempt to stimulate self-improvement. We must be better than anyone to survive. We must be dedicated in order to survive. Otherwise, our existence had no meaning. I must be better than anyone else. Number 14, you're good. Yes, he gets good results no matter what tasks we assign him. He's one of the best talents since the Sandbox was created. The instructors grade me according to the regulations and criteria. They're the managers that determined who is useless. I'd noticed that they'd been acting strange recently. They started to praise me rather than school. Oh wait, are we Shiraishi now? Because Shiraishi's number 14. Okay, I'm just gonna read it normal. Because I don't know if we're switching back and forth between them. You know what I mean? Because they just said, like, number 14, you're good, and then... I'm just going to read it normal, and you just figure it out yourself, because I don't know. Number 14. Knowledge, education, memory, physical ability, assassination skills. That doll boasted the highest results in every category. Oh, okay. Okay, we are still Kurdose. Okay, it was just weird, because they said number 14... And then they've been acting strange. They've started to praise me. Okay. So we are still Kurdose. Okay, fine. It got confusing in that sentence. Anyway. I was older than he was, but he came here after me. That's why my number was smaller. Until he came along, I was the best. Because of him, now I was the useless chess piece. Before I realized it, I began looking at number 14 during every training session. With my attention diverted from my mission, I was unable to get good results. Looking back at this point, it could have easily considered me a failure. Feelings of inferiority and envy are unnecessary for adults. See, he was always fucked up. I threw all this uncontrollable emotion at number 14. One day I harassed him. You're probably laughing at me for failing. We're the same. No doll is better or worse than another. We're not the same. You and I are different. I'm more useful than you. That thinking is dangerous. You're not controlling your emotions. Don't look down on me! He said my thinking was dangerous. Number 14's words were correct. But it's this organization that encourages our competition. Is suppressing that emotion really the right way to be a doll? As long as I was jealous of number 14, would I always play second fiddle? Yes. Get over it. One day, an executive of the organization came to inspect us. This training facility is called Aphrodite, and the organization manages it. The Grand Ruler was Zero, Chiho Mikuni. That was the name of our god. Interesting. Okay, so this explains a little bit, because, like, I don't remember if we got in the first one, but there was, like, no way that baby Shiraishi was being trained and somebody else, and Sayeki is not old enough to have been running it back then, so interesting that I'm assuming Chiho Mikuni is Rei Mikuni's father, maybe? Is that his father? Or, well, relative at any rate, but it's funny that Sayeki became Zero and not Mikuni himself. Interesting. Anyway. We were told... Oh! Maybe it's his mother, then! I just... Look, that was me being sexist. I just assumed that it's his mother. Whoa! Damn right! Women are in charge! See? Okay, what the fuck? Why you gotta put women in charge and shit like this? Well, whatever. We were told that she rarely came out. We were blessed by her sight, and I was unable to contain my excitement. And these are the agents in training. Oh no, that's okay. So that's Mikuni. Okay, baby Mikuni. Okay. I don't know who's talking when, and it drives me crazy. Could they at least put text and put R C 13 14 so I fucking know something? Whoops. Yes, Master Ray. Here, you can see their training sessions. And the person in front of the instructor was some young boy about the age of 10. Ray is Chiho's son. Wow. Poor Dave Makuni. His father was the prime minister, isn't he? Yeah, right? Wasn't he? And then his mom is running like this shit. Damn, kid, you got issues. Upon seeing that, I understood immediately. And that was the Prince of... God damn it, I keep hitting my thing. I'm sorry. And that was the Prince of Light who would shoulder the organization and impending revolution. We were now in the presence of the future commander. That explains a lot. He's like, yeah, Ray, he's the one that I'm gonna follow, and then fucking Saeki becomes Zero, and he's like, fuck you. Follow this guy. I must have him recognize me. I can be the best. And yet the first thing that came out of his mouth was something I detested. And which one is number 14? This way. It was mentioned in the report, but he's one of the most successful specimens. I'd like to talk to him. Very well. Number 14 again. They paid me no heed again. Master Makuni was taken to number 14's room. Why? Why won't anyone praise me? I'm doing my best here. I'm the better one here. Normally, a superior doll would acknowledge the problem, reflect on it, and then put forth efforts to fix it. But I felt so mortified. Because you're a human, not a doll, stupid. I was branded a failure during training, so I was walking back to my own room. At this rate, I was going to end up in the re-education room. If I wasn't able to convince them of my abilities there, I'll be disposed of. He's blaming Shiraishi for this. It's your own inability to step the fuck up, and you're just so jealous. And I mean, that's a natural, like, he's not a robot. That's what we're getting at here. Like, you're so consumed with jealousy and hating him that you're not focusing on yourself, and that's totally a human thing. You're a human, sweetie, not a robot. But at the same time, you're like, Jesus Christ, you want to smack him and be like, stupid, focus on your own shit. I don't want that. And that would be just like the way Mom and Dan threw me away. Please don't leave me behind. I think it's supposed to be Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad threw me away. Mom and Dad. Like, it's so oddly specific. Who's Dan? Is Dan related to Tim? Because Tim is a terrible typist. I do realize we have not talked about the fact that, like, why the fuck did you let Tim type the translation in this game? Because he's terrible, and he typed Mom and Dan. That was Tim being like, God damn it, Mom and Dan. I just imagine Dan is not that much older than Tim, and he's just pissed that his mom married him, and like, is that just, it's a Freudian slip there. Anyway, please don't leave me behind. No one needed me. Please don't throw me away. No one looked at me. I'm gonna feel bad for this poor fuck. Number 13. Oh, someone said that. The sealed memory of my childhood was about to take control of my entire brain. A bright voice suddenly emerged from behind, dispersing that dark fog. You're number 13, aren't you? Yes? I turned around to see Master Makuni. Why did he speak to me? Should I kneel? My brain was too confused to process anything. I heard from PR and training. You are the most dedicated and loyal to the organization. Huh? I'm not in the position to express gratitude. However, I hope you'll keep up the good work. I have high hopes for your further growth. Huh? Number 13? I was so dumbfounded I was at a loss for words. I realized how disrespectful I was being and I wanted to kill myself. But I was so happy. Joy was the only thing I felt then. It seemed like my existence was acknowledged. I felt like I was being baptized. This is like unhealthy levels of obsession. It seems that you're not very good at controlling your emotions yet. Master Makuni smiled wryly. I finally came to my senses and got on my knees. I'm terribly sorry. Thank you very much for those kind words. Because he's a kid. No need for such formalities. But I suppose that would be difficult. In any case, I have high expectations of you. Yes, I'll live up to your expectations. He was my light. He acknowledged me. He gave me a mission. He gave me a place I could call home. He looked at me and not number 14. Yeah, well, he gave number 14 shoes. You didn't get shoes. Did you get shoes? You didn't fucking get shoes! Just saying. It will become stronger for him. This was the moment I found the god whom I would serve. Unhealthy levels of obsession. Oh, I was like, okay. 15 years later, when I heard about the death of Master Mikuni, it felt like something went missing from my mind. I couldn't help. I was completely useless. It's because I have it floating in my other hand, and then I just keep bumping my nubby with my thumb. Ugh, that sounded gross, but like the joystick, I keep bumping it, and anyway. I was completely useless. Normally I would have to take my own life, but I failed. I failed to protect. The faction of the false prophet that stole the position of Chiho Mikuni was suddenly arrested, which caused much confusion in the organization. I wasn't told what would happen to me. The faction of the false prophet that stole the position of Chiho Mikuni. So are we saying the faction that followed Zero? Ooh. Oh, were there dissensions amongst the ranks? This is interesting. But I didn't care anymore. I knew that something important was lost. I no longer had light in my life, so I knew I must now take on the will of Master Mikuni. You're now free. There's no need to be imprisoned by your own past. It will be a world where you won't be ordered to murder or to suppress your own heart. You'll walk with your own 2 feet and see the world with your own 2 eyes and achieve your very own dreams. Dreams of killing number 14! My dream can only be one thing. It was to fulfill the will of Master Mikuni. I wanted to assist in his ideals. See, his dream is to be like somebody's fucking little bitch. Wow. And now that I was free, there was no need to be caught in the past. We competed in the Sandbox and he finally acknowledged me. It was different from when I was getting desperate. And this time it wasn't for the organization, but for him. Now was the time for me to use my life. I couldn't be the special one. Number 14 was special, but I was fine with that, because that was a fact. My god gave me the right to have a wish. Master Mikuni, you can rest assured. I will avenge you. No, you won't. My training as an agent at the Creed. Give your life for the organization. Everything else must be discarded. And I was still unable to do that. I felt this back then when he called out to me. Special kind of light only for me. I had nothing else. This was the only thing I had. It will succeed as will. And that was my only wish. It's a fucked up individual. All right. Well, that was like not even 20 minutes. So I guess what we'll do, so those ones I'm guessing are going to be shorter. I guess we'll start the Adonis prologue. So welcome to the Adonis route. I don't know if this is going to auto go. Okay, so I hope you watched that. I kind of was like, shit. When it started, I was like, fuck, I wonder if it's going to be like the other ones where like chapter 1 starts that. So if not, you can go back. I tried to click up the volume. We missed the first like voice line. It was really quiet, but I tried to crank it up for you. And obviously I didn't talk because then if you cranked it up for any reason, I'd be screaming at you. I'm normally screaming at you anyway. So sorry about that. So you could just go back and watch it again, I guess. I should have known that it would do that, but... All right. Falling. I've fallen into deep darkness. A blackness where everything was indistinguishable. I wanted to remain asleep in this darkness. But my body betrayed this desire, and it began to awaken. Oh, our text box is now red, bitch. Because we've gone to the dark side. Shit. We're not pink anymore. We're like blood fucking red. But yeah, so this takes place, there was an ending in Yanagi's route, like a bad ending, I think, where we joined Adonis, and that's basically where this picks up from. So this is basically like alternate universe. It's not the good one where like we kill all of our friends and we get Shiraishi as a pet, but like, I mean, maybe we still got Shiraishi as a pet. But anyway. In case you needed the back. Oh, we should have Shit. Alright. Hold on. We're gonna do this again. I fucked this up. We should have read this. 2 years ago, Adonis canceled the X-Day incidents which began in Shinjuku. They went to ground and evaded detection by the police, and it continued to lay low while continuing to accumulate strength. When the X-Day incidents resumed 1 month later, I was given a secret order from Zero. Okay, so I should have read that so that you knew what the story was about. Look, I'm not smart right now, okay? I'm sorry. We just fucked up a few minutes. Now we're going to watch the prologue again, and I will crank up the volume, so pay attention, because we are going to now watch the intro story. You get to watch it again, so I guess you didn't have to rewind, so here you go. Are you sure you want to watch this? Wait, hold on. Title, prologue. Yes, I had to put my thing down so I can, Here you go. Are you ready? So, like, I'm not gonna lie, because we never played with the voice acting, but, like, Sayeki, like, yeah, you could convince me to do things if you talk to me like that. Like, his voice is nice. You're like, hi, what? Yeah, sure, you're okay. All right, falling. I have fallen into deep darkness, a blackness where everything was indistinguishable. I wanted to remain asleep in this darkness, but my body betrayed this desire and it began to awaken. Okay. Let's just pretend we didn't do that twice, but I'm not smart today. I should not have done this. But we're 23 minutes in and I don't really want to reread the other side story to fix this, so this is what you get. Look, this has been a train wreck from the start because, Tim the terrible typist and his typos, my having sound issues for 5 freaking parts, like, now this, like, look. Me playing this game is like 2020, okay? It's just a fucking mess, so. Anyway. Is it morning? Whenever I opened my eyes, another day began with these black feelings, yeah. There was a sense of awakening, refreshed. An awakening that was ruled by the remnants of that dream. Right. This is reality. A dark room where the light of day didn't reach. My day began here. So this is basically like the, if you got to date Sayeki. This is this, except for there's no romance in it. So, like, fuck you if you wanted to romance Sayeki. You get to go to his side and be like, I love you, Sayeki. Oh, never mind. I stifled a sigh and slowly moved my body. I always woke up feeling like this. Whether they were dreams of kindness or horror, I always felt completely helpless in these dreams. The thing is, though, like, okay, sure, you're taking on this, you believe in what they're saying, and you're forsaking all of your possible boyfriendos, right? Okay. No man's gonna tie me down, I'm gonna do my own thing. But what about your brother? Like, you're just like, fuck my brother? At least we can protect Akito now. But, like, you know what I mean? Anyway. I don't have time to be falling into these dreams. I realized that I needed to rest. Even still, I forced myself onward. I hope she's a little less, naive and like, oh no, I'm so embarrassed by everything in this because you joined the dark side. You need to, like, I don't know, hike up your tits a little higher than me. Oh my god, I'm naive and docile. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're going to be a little bit harder. Have a harder edge and be like, you know what I mean? So I'm just kind of hoping that's what they go for with this here. Because it's going to be really awkward if, like, you're in this terrorist organization and you're like, oh, I'm so embarrassed because he looked at me. It's going to be fucking weird. Like, anyway. I realized that I needed to rest. Even still, I forced myself onward. I think we're right. I felt like I must reach my goal as soon as possible. It was the only way to secure that one and only glimmer of hope. I need to clear my head. I quickly gathered my equipment. It's because I was in this dreary room that I thought about these things. I didn't have time to let my emotions control me. I needed to act if I wanted to reach my goal. That day, I threw away everything that held me back. I didn't need justice, convictions, or emotions. I was striving for the pure world that he wanted. I'll give my body for this perfect world. That's what I decided. Okay, this is really fucking weird. Everybody's text box is red here. But like, look, it's our little precious baby Akito! Oh, Spacey, I mean Miss Hoshino. Good morning, Akito. Oh, it's okay. Everything's okay. We can protect him now. He spoke to me once I left my bedroom. Akito Sarah, Adonis member. Once he was my younger brother's best friend. Now he was my coworker. Good morning. There's something I'd like to check. What is it? I heard that you're coming with me to the wharf tonight. Are you sure you want to do this? Is there a problem with that? You have a good eye for weaponry, but I think it's very dangerous for you to go. Why? I can defend myself, you know. I know that, but considering the intel we intercepted, he was being cautious of me. It's natural that you'd be cautious, but you'll find out what the police are up to, right? Yes, but then there's no reason that I shouldn't go. Is that all right? Yes. All right then. Bye. I need to go to Zero. Please wait. I ignored Akito and began to walk away. He didn't try to follow me. I felt his confused gaze on my back. I knew that he was still filled with guilt. That's why in situations like these, he worried about my safety. But who cared about any of that? Damn, she sounds like a cold-ass bitch and I kind of like it. Instructor! What? I heard my name again and turned around. We are an excellent markswoman. Is that it? The person who rushed up to me was a student who was mainly instructing in marksmanship. It's going to be really hard to remember all the side characters that popped up in other routes and all their voices in this, so this is going to be a train wreck. I'm just telling you. This was the base of the terrorist group Adonis. Originally, it was located in Shinjuku, but after the failure of the X-Day plan, it was relocated. The fortress was controlled by Zero and was locked down to all but high-level members. Thanks to the strict security, it wasn't discovered by the police yet. You know all of our boys are out there looking for us. I have a request for you regarding the final checks for tonight's mission. Understood. After meeting with Zero, I'll head over. I worked here as a member. Yes, a member of a terrorist organization. An enemy of the state. I gave my all every day to improve Adonis. If you would have told me I'd be doing this before, I would have laughed. But this was no joke. I joined this organization of my own volition, and I was working for it. Because I was recognized for my marksmanship, my main role was the procurement, management, testing, maintenance, and training for all weapons. Damn! We swank. For any terrorist organization, firepower was the core, whether you wanted it or not. You're amazing, instructor. Your marksmanship is astounding, and you have the deep trust of Zero. You've risen through the ranks to become a core member of the organization in such a short time. That's because Zero wants to bone me, and we don't even get to do that in this route. It's disappointment, that's all I'm saying. I can't believe it's only been 2 years since you joined Adonis. 2 years? Yes, it surprises me too. I'll do my best to repay that trust placed in me. As this person said, the situation was a rarity. I kind of really hope they don't show us like Yanagi, Enomoto, Sasazuka. I hope, Okazaki, Shiraishi maybe, because, like... Or maybe he's still being a plant somewhere. But, like, I really hope they don't show us our boyfriends, because I'm gonna feel guilty. The fact that I had such an important role after only being here for 2 years, on top of formerly being a cop, and naturally the unmatched wisdom of our leader was not understood by ordinary people. These 2 years, I've done everything possible to learn about weapons. Pistols, rifles, machine guns, pretty much any gun, heavy weapons, explosives, and even poisons. Maybe I was just born with some sort of natural affinity for these kinds of things. I personally thought I did. I like that, again, she seems a little harder and like, I don't know. Like, she's not as wishy-washy. It's right off the bat, but like, she's just like, I'm really good with fucking weapons. Kind of fucking amazing. This is the MC we always needed. Wow. So far, I don't know how much spunk she's gonna have, but you know what I'm just saying, like, wow. I'll take my leave. I'll be hoping for your success in tonight's mission. Thank you. I mean, she seems a little cold and standoffish, but I mean, I get it. After this, he turned on his heel, and taking one more look at his back, I began to walk. Tonight's mission was with a new contact. I was to accompany someone to an arms deal. It's what Akita was talking about earlier. The person doing the actual negotiation was someone else, but we also needed someone there to inspect the weapons, so that was why I was going. Weapons, huh? A means to kill people. What I was doing was obviously preparing killers. I was not the one pulling the trigger, but I was still indirectly killing people. At this point, I don't really think much of it, though. That was because to accomplish this great work, some sacrifices were necessary. She's lost her marbles. I love it. Excuse me. I opened the door to the temple and entered. Before the person that waited there turned around, I fell to my knees. You've called for me, Zero? Here's Sayeki. Yes, good work. The person who awaited me in the temple was, of course, the founder of Adonis, Zero. But he's not really the founder, he's just taken up the mantle. You know what I'm saying? Well, then again, Zero was Chiho, right? But they weren't really Adonis at the time. They might not have been. Well, I mean, I don't remember. But we didn't get that from Kurose's story. It was more like, we're in the Sandbox, we're training, and we're working for the Mikuni family, and now all of a sudden it's... So, I mean, it could have been. This could have been kind of a rift, and then he took... I mean, I don't know. I don't really remember. It doesn't matter. We're here to not romance Sayeki, but pretend we are. I thought I told you. There's no need for you to be so formal. I stayed kneeling and didn't meet his gaze. I wasn't able to tell if he was displeased with me, but his voice sounded like he was sulking a bit. You did, but that won't do for the others. To us, you are a symbol of hope. A disrespect is punishable by death. Huh. Sure enough, you're like him. Rather, you've come to be like him. Who are you talking about? Right. Recently, you've been talking just like him. I'm not worthy of being compared to him. Ray Mikuni was the co-founder of Adonis. More than anyone else, he was the closest to Zero. In my eyes, nothing about me at all was comparable to him. Background, status, of course, way of thinking. Between the two of us, none of these attributes were at all similar. Well, anyway, there's something important I'd like to ask of you. Yes, whatever you desire. It seemed he was finally going to get to the main topic. Still kneeling, I straightened myself up and listened to the voice coming from on high. I want you to do the selection in my stead. What do you mean? Shortly we'll begin again. The rebirth of Adonis. Yes, we're working quickly to that purpose, and our plans are going on without any hitches. The rebirth of the X-Day plan. 2 years ago, that plan suffered a setback. It was a coup d'etat orchestrated by Adonis. The residents of Shinjuku were gripped in fear due to the terrorist X-Day incidents. However, in the midst of this plan, the police caught wind of Adonis, but Adonis sacrificed some low-level members as bait and went into hiding. Oh, poor Shiraishi. Just assuming. For 2 years, we've been working underground. Even if we're wrong, we cannot be discovered. Even the slightest suspicion was unacceptable. The day of rebirth was near, and that was what motivated the members. And that's because we stopped being reckless like we were 2 years ago. Things are almost proceeding too well. But if Judas is here, it will all be for naught. Judas, a synonym for traitor that gets its name from the biblical betrayer Judas Iscariot? I don't know what Judas's last name is. Iscariot? Whatever. Who was one of Jesus' 12 apostles. I don't know. Look, I know the name Judas, but I never knew. I don't know Bible things, okay? Never read it. One of Jesus' 12 apostles and sold out Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Man, that's like $30. In the famous painting, The Last Supper, he's depicted as the only one with a different expression on his face. Back, that's the right button. Anyway. I drew a quick breath. Judas. He meant a traitor. It's funny, they give you the background and then they tell you what they meant. I didn't know what he meant by telling me that, but I carefully proceeded. Does he think it's us? We'd never do that to you, Sayaki. In this route, you're the only man we love, even though we're not getting any. It's kind of disappointing, but... Is this a sign? No, it's a situation I saw 2 years ago. No one was doing anything out of the ordinary. Everyone was better than I expected. Still, there's a chance someone is hiding something, particularly those who are skilled. You're referring to people who joined 2 years ago who executed the X-Day incidents, including me, right? Executor was a special title given to certain people in the organization. A normal person who carried out the X-Day incidents. 8 men and women whose desire for revenge Adonis used to make into killers. Just like me, 2 years ago when Adonis went into hiding, they became full-fledged Adonis members. What did we do? Well, it was in Yanagi's route. But... Well, I'm just thinking it could have been the person that kidnapped us, right? But, like, we saw in Yanagi's after story, the one we just did, that the guy was unconscious and Yanagi kicked his ass way back when he was a kid, not recently. Or I assumed that. Maybe he did it recently. I assumed it was when he was a kid and he was saving us, he, like, beat the pulp out of that guy. But now I'm, like, trying to think, and, like, maybe it's false memories. You know how sometimes you're like, I wonder if this happened, and then you're like, yeah! So I was just thinking, like, so was our revenge was, we didn't really execute anything on X Day, but were we, well, but see, the thing is like, Akito didn't blow up the school. He went and did something else, and someone else then blew up the school. You were basically given a task to take revenge for someone else. So, like, our revenge wouldn't have been us going after the guy that attacked us. It would have been, oh, but then again, I mean, but ours is different. So I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but I kind of wish they'd actually give you that flashback, because that I don't remember at all. Especially because it was in a bad ending, not in the normal ending. I don't remember the good endings, let alone... Look, I remember that one Shiraishi bad ending, okay? But, yeah. That's why Akito Sara was here. We haven't placed any surveillance over them until now. I didn't want to show any openings. But we're less than a month away from restarting the X-Day plan. If we have a Judas in our midst, we'll certainly try to stop it. And if they're plotting to derail the plan, their movements might be more brazen than before, and they might get careless. Now's a good time to try and smoke them out. You're saying this to the person who's really gonna... Never mind, it's not me, I'm sure. I understand your logic. If there was anyone who stood in the way of the plan, this was the only chance for them to act. If they were being careful, they'd definitely exhibit some kind of strange behavior. We needed to get them to do that, right? However, I still had one doubt. I understand what you're saying, but I'm in the same as they are. I'm in the same as they are? Well, I'm the same as they are. Why are you having me conduct the investigation? More importantly, I wasn't an executor. I was actually the most suspicious. Dun dun dun, that's probably why. Hold on just a second. Sorry about that. Okay, where were we? More importantly, I wasn't an executor. I was actually the most suspicious. I think we read that, but it's been a few minutes. I had to step away for a second, sorry. But Zero just laughed fearlessly. Oh, God, I've seen this CG. And I'm just telling you, like, unfortunately this one, I believe they put up on, like, Twitter, and everyone was like, hello, fucking spoilers, kinda? Because it's Sayaki, but I kind of feel like people, well, it is a little bit spoilers, but at the same time, you knew that there was gonna, like, if you read anything about the game, you knew that there was an Adonis, like, route. But I guess it's kind of spoilers if you haven't played the first one, because you'd be like, who's that hot guy? And then you'd be like, oh, we're going through finding out zero. Wait, wasn't that guy in that picture? He kind of looked like Sayeki, and then you'd put it together faster? I mean, I'm guessing that's what it is, but, like, there's a possibility that would happen, especially because, you know, he's wearing the Adonis pin. He's not dressed like Sayeki, you know. But, but this is as close to his romancing as we're going to get, I think. Look, I don't know what the other CGs are like in this run. I know what this one is, because I've seen it, and it's fucking beautiful. It's lovely. Anyway, because I trust you. Guided by his finger on my chin, I raised my head and quietly gazed back into his eyes. It was the same as always. I was unable to ready any emotion in his eyes. I was unable to read. What the fuck? I can't read. She was unable to read, and same with me. I was unable to read any emotion in his eyes. I'm honored. Leave it to me. Your face betrays you. You don't seem happy about this at all. I really am honored from the bottom of my heart. Well, whatever. My god. Sayeki, you son of a bitch. I'm sorry. Zero. Sort of different person, but I mean, I really don't remember my initial impressions of Sayeki in the first one. I want to give myself credit and be like, I think I might have pegged him as zero in the beginning because, wait, we have this awesome guy where he's our side friend and we don't get to date him? That's weird. I don't know if I was clued in because of that, or I'm just imagining it and just wishing that I was clued in. But again, I really don't remember. Like, I want to be like, I totally knew at some point before they revealed it, and it wasn't a shock. I mean, I think I did at some point know it, but I don't think it was like that early on. But again, I don't remember. I could just be giving myself credit when I get none. And I don't remember what I thought of him initially. And usually the bad guy, like whatever, I'm always like, no, I don't fucking want to date the app. No. But I don't know. Right now, in this moment, my feeling is, yeah, I mean, hi, if we actually got a decent Sayeki romance route, that'd be kind of okay. I'd be okay with that. You know? Meanwhile, everybody wanted Finn's route in Steam Prison, and I was like, fuck Finn. And I'm still feeling that way, and his route's coming out soon. Well, it's probably already out by the time this gets posted, but I don't know how I'm going to handle that. So Sayeki is normally the character that I'd be like, no, fuck him, he's evil! And now I'm like, yeah, but, like, I don't mind it. Like, I guess I'm okay with it. I don't know. Look. Because I didn't hate Sayeki when we played the game. I don't think I ever hated him. I don't know if I was like, oh my god, I love him, when do we have a route for him? But, like, now if we had a route for him, I'd be like, I'm going to enjoy this. I would fucking enjoy it, I'm not gonna lie. So I feel bad for everybody who desperately loves him and really wanted a route. And, like, right now, this CG, though, is like, I fucking like it. Did we chop our hair? Do we no longer have jellyfish hair? Because, like, I'm down for that. I am down for the bob and not the jellyfish. So anyway. You have 1 month. Deliver your report to me 3 days before the plan is scheduled to go into action. Understood. I nodded mechanically and thought quickly. This is my chance. I knew that this was just too good to be true. This wasn't a coincidence. It was inevitable. I was certain this man had seen through everything and organized this. The people of interest are Keisuke Sanjo, Suzune and Shion Uno, Manabu Soda, Rika Sugawara. Wow, I can't. There's too much, and I had to stop. Because I got Sakuragawa in my head. I'm like, that's not right. Stop. And then my brain couldn't stop reading Sakuragawa. All right. Rika Sugawara, Akito Sera, Hanako Kobayashi, and Tomoki Ogata. Those 8? I read each of their names off as I recalled their faces. Even though I didn't have much with most of them. Anyway, I knew where they were assigned. I didn't have much interaction, I'm assuming. I didn't normally have much interaction with them. Okay. Literally, she kind of just said that. So I needed a reason to get close to them. No. And there is one more. One more. Zero's voice was thoughtful. My head was lifted and I gazed into his eyes again. It's me, isn't it? His eyes bore no hint of laughter. Ray Mikuni, look into him as well. That's... I didn't know why you said that. I couldn't read him at all. He trusts us because he's in love with us. He probably shouldn't trust us, but I don't know, maybe he should. Ray Mikuni cared for the leader more than anyone else in all of Adonis. More than that, ever since Adonis's inception, he'd given his all to the organization. He was right up there with Zero. Does that mean he would betray us? Didn't he kinda? That's a direct order. I won't allow it to be questioned. Understood. I wasn't given an answer, but the matter was brought to a smoldering conclusion for me. I was not allowed to refuse it or delay it. All I could do was nod and accept it. So I wonder if that's the whole Adonis route, is us getting to know those characters and investigating, so that you get a little more like, hey, we get to hang out with Akito and for reasons. Well, we're also, this is like, that's our side quest, you know? Interesting. I understand. As you wish. Zero. After saying that, he seemed to relax a bit. He laughed a bit. Your hair, what a waste. I guess we did chop it. Hell yeah. Even though it was so long, you cut it all off. You won't grow it out again. I'm a member of the combat group. I'm more mobile with it cut short. I guess this doesn't look so bad. I think it suits you better long, though. I liked it. Now we're like, do my job. Romance the boss. Romance the boss. I didn't respond. He took his finger off my chin, still looking at me. See, that was him hitting on us. That's as close as we're gonna get. That was him basically telling us he loved us. Spider! You're hanging there, but you're getting a little bit closer to my computer. Don't dangle so far. Did I read that line? Oh, but he took his finger off my chin, so look at me. Okay. I'll start on this mission immediately. Now then, with your leave. Yes, take care of it. I stood and bowed deeply. He's got that same, like, happy Saeki face, which also looks a little crazy. I spun on my heels almost unconsciously and looked around the room. It was a holy place to Adonis, forbidden to most. Even though the hideout was moved, this room was built to the exact same specifications. I was like, is this the same temple? Because I feel like it's going to be easy for them to find us. We didn't move that far. We moved to the other side. Strictly speaking, the tragedy that occurred on that day did not occur in this place. Still, every time I entered, I thought of the same thing. The deep smell of blood, eyes that said nothing, and despair. What is it? No, it's nothing. Excuse me. This time I turned and left the temple. Seems like a lot of effort to rebuild that, you know what I mean? I can't let this chance get away. Even if I was just dancing in the palm of his hand. I looked into the executors mentioned earlier who joined Adonis 2 years ago. Before, they were normal people. They weren't pawns or dolls that Adonis had molded from the beginning. If their interests matched, I could use those, because that held the most promise. For better or for worse, the executors stand out. If I tried to contact them via normal means, it'd be suspicious. We're in different groups, and up till now, we've had no reason to interact with each other. Akito would be the easiest one to go after first, because, you know, we're going out with him tonight. But because it's an order, I can approach them directly. And if there really was a Judas among us, then it would be convenient. It's easier to deceive when I have more pawns in hand. 1 month until the rebirth of X Day. In order to accomplish the rebirth I desired, in order to achieve this one goal, I'll do anything and everything. From that day forward, I did my daily work while investigating all of the executors. 30 days until X Day! Now then, where shall I begin this secret mission to discover the Judas? At this point, I've collected all the information on the suspects. I don't think we get any choices in this route. Investigation data, Ray Mikuni. In order to figure out what they might be plotting, I need to start interacting with these people. Reference. A young man atop the leadership chain of Adonis, second only to Zero, son of the former Prime Minister, Yukihisa Mikuni. He's currently prioritizing Adonis activity, but it seems that even now he holds much influence in the political world. constantly working behind the scenes to find capable personnel and establish more networks. He regards Zero as something akin to a sacred deity. As a result, he often glares in my direction. He glares in my direction? The apostle who betrayed Jesus to his enemies for 30 pieces. Oh, who? I'm just reading the bottom thing. We're like, who? Yeah. Target number 1, Ray Mikuni. He needs no introduction. One of the heads of Adonis. He's young, but he oversees all aspects of the organization. Target number 2, Keisuke Sanjo. Of all the executors, he's the only one who knows Mikuni. It's rumored that he was central to the X-Day plan. He's a former police officer, also voiced by Lupin, I'm pretty sure. I think so. Keisuke Sanjo, reference, works for Adonis, in charge of negotiating with similar outside groups, as well as secretly maneuvering within criminal organizations. Relatively sociable, but his eyes and demeanor give off an intimidating presence. We can't give him the Lupin voice streaming, because, you know... A bold guy that's hard to approach. Shot and killed 15 people 2 years ago, and as such is feared even within Adonis. Former police. According to my investigation, it seems that due to extreme harassment from management, a number of people were driven to suicide within a short period. Target number 3, Suzune Uno. 18 years old at the time of the X-Day incidents, she's mentally unstable, and the only one she trusts is her older brother Shion. Remember her. Works for Adonis along with her older brother Shion, unable to make eye contact or speak with anyone else other than Shion due to being an extreme introvert. 2 years ago, took matters into her own hands in order to exact revenge upon the people who drove their mother to murder Suzune's father and commit suicide. Due to having emotional scars from past events, she has a violent personality that surfaces when she experiences psychological stress. Great, we're gonna get stabbed by this bitch. Can I just, random side note, I sometime was watching something else. I'd watched one playthrough of one game, so I decided to watch someone else's. But they're like, oh yeah, if you want to read that, you pause and go back. No. You are playing a game. You're playing a visual novel type of game or anything where it's bitch, you read that shit out. So it'd be like me, target number 4, Shion. Okay, so guys, pause and read that if you want to read his thing. No, I'm going to read that for you. Pause, and read. No, I'm, the investigation data thing. I'm going to read it for you. I might not read, hell, I stop sometimes and what does that sign say in the background? I'm interested in that. I can understand if maybe, it's a background thing, but, that's purposely there for you to fucking read. So I'm not going to make you read it your damn self. What kind of an asshole would I be? Anyway, that was just a random side note, because I was like, well, not checking out of this, because no, I want someone who's actually going to play the game and be aware that there are people watching you play this game. You need to kind of do the full effect, No, we don't go back and do every single fucking choice and see every freaking possibility, but we do all the endings, you know what I mean? And I read stuff like this for you. So I'm nice, is all I'm saying. It just bugged me, because I was like, dude, no, I don't want someone to not read that to me, so of course I'm going to do it for you. We've been doing that for 5 fucking years, so whatever. Target number 4, Shion Uno. He committed murder to avenge his parents. He is very cautious and cunning, and his sister Suzune is more important to him than anything. Works for Adonis along with their younger sister Suzune. He's extremely wary of others, but is submissive to those with authority. Also possesses a strong sense of empathy. Growing up in an environment where he was constantly made aware of his status may have impacted his childhood development. 2 years ago, took matters into his own hands in order to exact revenge upon the people who drove his mother to murder Shion's father and commit suicide. Manabu Soda. Write this fucker. Target number 5, Manabu Soda. A former shut-in and hardcore gamer, he's capable of flipping a switch and going wild, almost completely unpredictable. He's in charge of recruiting and influencing public opinion on the internet, as well as building web presence for Adonis. He's running the fucking Twitter account. Adonis tweets. That's at Adonis tweets. That's exactly what it is. Don't try that. It'd be fucking hilarious. Anyway, not his main job, so he's working concurrently at 2 different places. Usually found playing video games, so he's not exactly a model worker. Former shut-in with emotional scars caused by incidents that happened online. Former shut-in. I'm a current shut-in, and I'm usually found playing video games when not working. Even now, he works while holed up in his room without interacting with other people. That basically sounds like me. Seems to have a wide scope of knowledge for gaming and the internet, but conversations with him where he's spitting out jargon are difficult. Oh my god, her. Target number 6, Rika Sugawara. A woman who is targeted by a stalker. She loves and respects Adonis and Zero, who saved her. She puts her all into saving the organization. And she, didn't she go, psycho and flip out on us? I mean, she did, I remember that. But also, I think she's gonna go psycho and flip out on us. Okay. Mikuni looks at us creepy, he's glares daggers at us because Zero's in love with us. We already know that he's sus about us. But I think Rika would fucking stare daggers at us too, just because she's like, why is Zero in love with you? He saved me! Anyway. Assigned to the PR and training branch in Adonis, responsible for the indoctrination and education of new believers, where one's worth is based on loyalty to Zero, and also one's seniority. As such, there seems to be many clashes within the organization. Was a stalker victim for many years before the X-Day incidents, which caused her to suffer physical and mental trauma. She got revenge on her stalker via the X-Day incidents. Having overcome her fears, she has established herself as a devout follower of Adonis, but, dun dun dun. Target number 7, Akito Sarah. You know what, bitch? You put that out. You leave Akito alone. We're here to protect him. We are not here for Zero. We are here to protect Akito. Don't you dare. Became an executor for his younger sister. At the time of the X-Day incidents, his computer skills assisted the organization greatly. Belongs to the information branch in Adonis, responsible for the organization's systems and network security, as well as overseeing communications. He gained all skills from his prior self-study and has continued to prove his worth. Poor baby, you could have had a better life with my brother! His younger sister was driven to suicide due to bullying, which led him to seek revenge. This resulted in him being selected as an executor candidate for X-Day. Was seriously pursuing music composition 2 years ago, but has set it aside for now. Wants nothing to do with the organization. No. Wants nothing to do with the organization. Oh, precious Akito baby. He just wants to go home to Kazuki. Oh, let him go, Spacey. Let him go. Zero. You're letting Akito go. I can't do it. You're gonna let him go. Hanako Kobayashi, this bitch. I fucking love her. I miss her. Oh, good. We get to see her again. Target number 8, Hanako Kobayashi. Hana's gonna stab a bitch! A maniacal fan of the musician Yasuhiro Ishiki, the only one of the executors to dirty their hands for no direct personal gain. Mainly responsible for recruiting civilians into Adonis. The new believers she brings to us provide much-needed support and manpower to our subdivisions, and her efforts can't be ignored. Is a super fan of the musician Yasuhiro Ishiki and murdered a police officer 2 years ago for his sake. She hides a cruel personality under the guise of someone cheerful and innocent. May have a strong affinity for terrorism due to her willingness to buy into ideals that align with things that she likes. She crazy. We love her. Target number 9, Tomoki Ogata. He was on trial during the X-Day incidents. He was declared innocent, and his role was to spread the claims of Adonis through his trial. Assigned to the PR and training branch in Adonis, due to being wrongfully arrested in the past. Due to being wrongfully arrested in the past, his explicit, justified distrust for the police lends credence to the cause, and thus the civilians that he pulls in are devoted and faithful. Exacted revenge via a substitute murder 2 years ago. As someone who believes that human life itself has been devalued by society and someone who only adheres to his own brand of justice, he has a profound respect for Zero's ideas. Cunning and difficult to get a read on, but... But what? Wait. Hold on. I want to see something. Yes. It's just weird because it says back. So I was just kind of I was just kind of like, wait a minute, is there like a back side to the page? So I was like, back, but there's not. Oh. Oh. You could have done it this way. You know what's weird? What's the wait a minute. The investigation count, why are the colors different on the bottom? Anyway. Maybe that's why it's back. Okay. I was just confused as to why it says back up there like it's a different thing, and it's like, well, because it was after that one, there were several that was like ... but anyway, we're a little over, but I don't have an easy approach with any of them. I don't have much contact with the executors. If I started talking to them out of the blue, they'll get suspicious. It'd be best to engage over something like their hobbies and interests to get them to lower their guard. Who should I start with first? Do we have to pick? Oh my god, we do! Oh my god, so cool! Well, like, I feel like we should... I don't want to pick a keto first. I want to pick a keto first, but I don't want to pick a keto first. You know what? Can I? I can't save here. Fuck! Can I go back? I can't. Oh my god, I have to pick someone. I love Hana. Okay, we've got Ray, and we've got a keto. Those are like the three that are like, I wanna do them. So I feel like maybe we should just do a rando, you know, and then do one of them. We should definitely do this Shion and Suzune kind of one after another. Oh, I don't want to do a keto first. We gotta wait on him. We gotta wait on Hana. We could do Ogata first. You know what? Should we do... I feel like we should do Mikuni last. You know what I mean? I don't know. Oh, it's so hard. It's hard to decide. But I need to pick. I can't not pick right now, but... Let's do Ogata first, okay? We'll do him first, because he's... It kind of popped you up on Mikuni first, but we'll go... Maybe we'll kind of go around. We'll do Ogata, maybe we'll do Suzune, and then we'll do her brother. We can do Akita. Or should we just... What? Oh, how are we going to keep track of this? I guess I'm going to have to write them down. All right, we'll go with... Oh, okay. Sure, yeah. All right, we're doing Ogata first. I was kind of hoping it would just put you in them instead of you having to choose. Because, like, not going to lie, some of the characters, I don't give a fuck about your story. But whatever, we are here. So, anyway, we'll continue and we'll start his story in the next part. So, because we got to go. So, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.